Another bone of the lower limb is the tibia. So tibia is a weight-bearing bone. It's a long bone, so it has got the upper end, shaft, and the lower end. The feature of the upper end of the tibia is that it has got two condyles, lateral and medial condyles, and in between there is a raised portion that is called this tibial tuberosity, which is subcutaneous, and it bears the insertion of the quadriceps femoris tendon. The superior surface of the tibia having two parts, which is smooth and rough part. This medial condyle and lateral condyle. If we see closely, this is tibial tuberosity. So we see the superior surface of the medial condyle is large and the superior surface of lateral condyle is smaller. And in between there is a rough area. The smooth surface is for the attachment of the meniscus. So medial meniscus, which is alphabetically C-shaped, is because of the longer superior surface of the medial condyle, while the lateral condyle has got the attachment of the lateral meniscus, which is alphabetically O-shaped. And in between, this is the rough area. So rough area of the tibia is medial, midline, and on either side this is smooth because of the attachment of the meniscus. And this rough area has got 6 structures attached to the intercondylar rough area of the tibia, same as we have seen that condyles of the femur is also having the intercondylar rough area. So when we form the knee joint, the rough surface of the intercondylar rough area of the femur, it is opposite the rough area of the intercondylar area of the tibia also. So both are rough. So rough with the rough and smooth with the smooth, and this is how the knee joint is formed. The superior surface has got the rough area having the 6 structural attachments. So from anterior to medial, they are: number 1 is the medial meniscus, anterior horn of the medial meniscus is attached here. Then number 2 comes the anterior cruciate ligament. Anterior cruciate ligament. Then comes the anterior horn of the lateral meniscus is attached. Lateral meniscus anterior horn is attached. Then on the 4th position, again posterior horn of the lateral meniscus comes. Then again comes the posterior horn of the medial meniscus. And last of all, posteriorly comes the place of the in the 6th position comes the posterior cruciate ligament. So in this way, these 6 structures, they are attached from anterior to posterior side. So formulas MCLLMC. Medical College Lahore, Lahore Medical College. So this is how to remember the 6 structures attached to the superior surface of the. So this is on the anterior aspect. Then on the anterior aspect, there is also attachment of the fibrous capsule. The fibrous capsule of the knee joint is attached on the lateral and the medial condyle, but it is interrupted near the tibial tuberosity to accommodate the tendon of the quadriceps femoris muscle, which is also called the ligamentum patelli. So ligamentum patelli is a misnomer. It is not the ligament of the patella, but actually it is the tendon of the quadriceps femoris muscle from the apex of the patella to the tibial tuberosity, as it doesn't have got any nerve fibers, any muscular fibers. So it is misnomer and called the ligamentum patelli. Then comes the below is the shaft of the tibia. The shaft of the tibia is having same three surfaces and three borders like the femur. So it has got the anterior border, and the medial surface. So medial surface and anterior border, there is called the shin of the tibia. They are called the shin of the tibia because both are subcutaneous, and most of the fracture of the tibia occurs on the shin of the tibia, that is the anterior border and the medial surface, because there is no muscle attached to it. So muscles, they are shock absorber. So if it doesn't have any muscle, so it is liable to be fractured. So most fractured part of the tibia bone is this anterior border and the medial surface. Then lateral surface give rise to the many muscles. So, and the posterior border, so there is a posterior surface of the tibia. So medial surface of the tibia is continuous with the again another lower end of the medial surface, which is called the medial malleolus. So medial malleolus is the subcutaneous continuation of the medial surface of the tibia, and it is also very much fractured part of the, because again it is a subcutaneous. And another thing which is important about the medial malleolus is that there is the anterior surface is having a vein that is called the great saphenous vein. So great saphenous vein always lies on the anterior surface of the aspect of the medial malleolus, and this position of the great saphenous vein help in the venous action, because even in the peripheral circulatory failure, the vein is very much there and it is used for the infusion of the IV fluids. And fracture is again common because it is subcutaneous. The tip of the malleolus below gives the attachment of the deltoid ligament. And the shaft of the lateral surface of the shaft, it gives rise to the origin of the muscle that is called the tibialis anterior. So tibialis anterior muscle, it gives the origin by the lateral surface of the tibia. If we see the posterior surface of the tibia, so posterior surface of the tibia is having the features. First of all, there is attachment of the superiorly, there is a insertion of the muscle which is called the semimembranosus on the posterior surface of the medial condyle of the tibia, semimembranosus. And then above this insertion there is a attachment of the fibrous capsule of the knee joint, but it is interrupted below the lateral condyle, and this interruption here is because of the popliteus muscle, because popliteus origin is tendinous, intracapsular, and extrasynovial, but it becomes extra capsule. It comes out of the fibrous capsule here, just below the lateral condyle. So there is we make an interrupted line so that it can come and it insert above the area on the shaft of the tibia. That is called the soleal line. So there is a spiral line or soleal line is present on the tibia, and this spiral or soleal line gives the insertion of the what is called the suprapubic muscle inserted above the soleal line or oblique line. The medial surface of the medial condyle also gives the attachment of the medial collateral ligament or tibial collateral ligament. So soleal line, as the name is soleal line, so it gives the attachment origin of the soleus muscle over here. Then below the soleal line, the muscle which is taking origin is the tibialis posterior muscle. Tibialis posterior muscle is taking origin below the soleal line. This is the deep muscle of the posterior compartment of the leg muscle. So below the soleal line, this whole area is for the tibialis posterior muscle. So posteriorly, the medial malleolus gives the passage of the 5 structures. So 5 structures they pass behind the medial malleolus. So these are the structures which come from the posterior compartment of the leg and they go into the leg, into the foot. So these are the 5 structures we have to remember. Out of the 5, the first structure which enters from the posterior compartment of the leg behind the medial malleolus is the tendon of the tibialis posterior. So tibialis posterior inserted on all bones of the tarsal except talus, because it is the powerful inverter of the foot. So it rotates the foot bones or the tarsal bones or the subtalar joint medially. So it has to insert on all tarsal bones except talus, because talus is not available, because on the plantar surface of the talus, head of the talus lies on the spring ligament. Then the second muscle passes behind is the flexor digitorum longus. It goes into the sole of the foot. Then comes the posterior tibial artery. In third position, posterior tibial artery enters into the sole of the foot from posterior compartment. And then the fourth position structure is the nerve, that is the tibial nerve. So tibial nerve also comes from the posterior compartment, is the nerve of posterior compartment, and then from the leg it enters into the sole of the foot. And the last structure which is coming, the muscle from the posterior compartment to go into the sole of the foot is the flexor hallucis longus. Flexor hallucis longus. So in this way, the 5 structures you have to remember: first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. First is tibialis posterior. Number 2 is the flexor digitorum longus. Then comes the posterior tibial artery, third position. The fourth position is the tibial nerve, and fifth position is the flexor hallucis longus. So there is a formula to remember. The doctors are not happy. The doctors are not happy. T stands for tibialis posterior. D for flexor digitorum longus. A stands for artery, that is the posterior tibial artery. N stands for nerve, the tibial nerve. And S stands for the fifth position, flexor hallucis longus. So this is how you have to remember 5 structures passing behind medial malleolus.